price of Bitcoin is $26,472. Banking stocks are in decline. Barclays Bank has dropped 1.1% today, and yet at the same time as all this happening, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is breaking out. I've been talking about this for a while here on the channel at this point. I think Ethereum is going to significantly outperform Bitcoin over the course of the next month. There is a lot of reasons for why I think this. The key one being, of course, what is going on in Hong Kong will naturally more affect Ethereum than Bitcoin. Ethereum slightly smaller market cap. If you apply the same institutional volume to both market caps, one will rise more than the other. Now, what does that mean for the altcoin space? Well, the altcoin space is starting to heat up right now. We can see that in this Matic chart right here. This is the daily chart for Matic versus Bitcoin. You can see, yeah, we had a great bull run. It was fantastic. Then the price dropped, and now it's rising again. And then it dropped again. However, it appears to be finding some very strong levels of support at the current levels in terms of its Bitcoin value. Especially with the growth of the Ethereum network recently, it seems likely that Matic is going to go through another growth spurt. If Matic is going to go through another growth spurt, it's likely that we see that applied across the entire altcoin market, because when one altcoin goes, everybody just goes, well, what's next? And then they just start buying them again. So we're likely to see some big volume coming soon into the altcoin space. And that excites me greatly, which is why you should check out my main channel, That Martini Guy, where I go through all of the best altcoins that I can find on the internet all the time. Now, moving back on though, what is currently going on with the price of Bitcoin? And what can we expect from Bitcoin over the next 24, 48 hour period heading into the weekend and of course beyond? Don't forget, Monday, I believe, is a bank holiday Monday. So we won't be well, rather, the markets don't trade on the Monday, so it's going to be a pretty quiet Monday. However, $26,462 is the current price of Bitcoin. This is the hourly chart, but we can't really read too much into this right now, given that, I mean, technically, Bitcoin made a higher low. So we've got the low here, we've made a slightly higher low here, and that would, of course, be a slightly bullish thing. Other than that, what indicators can we be reading into right now? Well, we can look at the volume range profile right now, which would be, it seems likely we're probably going to come up and close this gap up here, which would mean, again, as I've been pointing out for a while, I'm expecting at least an underside retest, which would mean at least Bitcoin's price rises up to $6,700. At the point whereby Bitcoin's price breaks through that level, it's likely it's going to start increasing in price significantly from there, and then we would form this W reversal pattern. However, what other indicators can we read into on the price of Bitcoin right now? Well, we've also got to look at the VWAP, and in terms of the VWAP and how we're performing in the VWAP, we need to look at a lower time frame to kind of get the full understanding of this. You can see that we touched the bottom of the VWAP again today. Now, we've not, well, I mean, we also touched the top of it, but we failed to hug it. Now, generally, when Bitcoin's price is going up, it tends to hug the top of the VWAP. However, we've started to hug it once today. I think that we're more likely to go up than down based off of the kind of the fundamentals really at this moment in time are stronger than the technicals. The other technical indicators that we can look at right now, of course, I mean, the pretty basic ones, your RSI and your MACD. Now, in terms of your RSI and your MACD, it's better to look at those on higher time frames because they give generally a more accurate view on what's going on in the market. And currently, on the 4-hour chart, we're just about to cross bullish here on the MACD. And the same would go for having a, I mean, it's not really a bullish divergence. No, technically it would be. Technically it would be because, of course, we've got this 1 wick down here, but technically you've got bearish price action and a rising RSI. It seems very likely from my perspective, Bitcoin's price is going to rise, hence why I have positioned myself in a long position. I'm in the same position I was in yesterday. And of course, if you are interested in trading, check out the link for BYBIT in today's video description, of which if you use that link, you can get up to $30,000 for free. UK traders can use BYBIT, so don't be scared about using KYC. It's absolutely fine. Now, moving on from Bitcoin, what is going on with the price of Ethereum? Well, for that, let's look at the Ethereum chart right now. Ethereum is, from my perspective, the play to be making in the crypto markets. We've got a very, I mean, nearly complete, pretty much complete inverse head and shoulders pattern here. Now, that inverse head and shoulders pattern is currently back really on the neckline. And when we're breaking through this neckline, which is pretty much at the levels where we're currently at, if we're to break through, let's just measure exactly where that neckline would sit. It'd be sitting exactly at this level here at about $1,818. If we're to break through $1,818, which is $3 higher than the current price of Ethereum, then at that point in time, well, you're looking at the higher bands. So where does those higher bands sit? If we're to look at the volume range profile right now and see where those higher bands are sitting, I want to zoom out here and go over to the 4-hour chart so it gives us a little bit more perspective on where these volume bands are sitting. Well, to be honest, that actually looks pretty decent. there isn't a whole lot of liquidity all the way up. There's not a whole lot of liquidity all the way down either. But to be honest, this is looking pretty decent. You've got big bands down here, but that looks like a very strong level of support. From my perspective, again, upwards more likely than downwards. I know that a lot of people don't feel that way right now. I'm happy to be a contrarian. I'm happy to go against what a lot of people believe. And the reason for that is the majority of people are generally wrong. And so if you've got a lot of people expecting the price of Bitcoin to go down, I think that there's a lot of people really expecting $25,000 Bitcoin and $1,750 Ethereum. From my perspective, that kind of already happened this week. We had that huge wick down, wiped out a bunch of that long leverage, and now the skies are clear for what's it, pastures new, or whatever you would say. Either way, this is looking pretty decent right now from my perspective, and I'm also long on Ethereum. In terms of the things that are going on in the real world, important thing to point out would be the Winklevoss twins are encouraged by the UK's approach to crypto regulation. An interesting thing that I found in this article down here was that basically concerning the recent recommendation for crypto to be regulated like gambling, Gemini's president Cameron Winklevoss warned UK lawmakers against this approach. Well, I don't think Cameron fully understands how gambling is regulated in the UK because it's barely regulated, and you can throw as much money. You can only deposit £3,000 into a crypto account once a month. That's the maximum from most major UK banks. And yet gambling, you can send all of your money to any gambling thing, gambling website, whatever. You can send it all, tens of thousands of pounds, and it's not an issue. So if they regulate crypto like gambling in the UK, that would be fantastic because we don't really have any gambling regulation. Anyway, I don't think that's really what he's getting at. A House of Commons Treasury Select Committee report talked about crypto being gambling, which we found kind of curious. He said, I guess gambling is anything that can go to zero, which means that oil or gold or other commodities could fall into that bucket, as well as venture investments. It feels like there might be a double standard on some level there. And he's absolutely right. Our government is terrible for double standards. It's kind of what they're known for. They've been known for it a lot over the past few years, haven't they? Anyway, a couple more things to point out in today's video would, of course, be the top gainers and losers in the world of crypto today. If we look at the top gainers, we can see that in the top 100, Casper up 5%, Arbitrum up 5%, Stacks up 5%, and XRP up 3%. The rest of it, I mean, it's not been a particularly profitable 24 hours for anybody because the markets are very, very stagnant. But from my perspective, that is when you want to be in the markets. You want to be in the markets before anybody starts caring. And you're starting to see these Bitcoin charts turning around like now, like what we're experiencing on the price of Matic. So from my perspective, again, it's buy time. That's what I'm doing. That's absolutely what I'm doing. And I won't stop doing it until I'm in a profit. Now, I've got one more thing to bring up to you in today's video, and that is a meme coin that I find an interesting concept. I've bought about $2,000 of it, just a little bit of a fun play here. I don't know what's going to come of it. I have no idea at all. And to be honest, I actually know of a really good meme coin. They should be launching in a couple of weeks' time. However, for now, this is the meme coin play that I'm in. For everybody that wonders, you know, how do you buy meme coins? What do? You go over to Dex Tools, you copy this code, you paste it into your MetaMask, and you swap Ethereum for it. Now, in terms of this, it's a 1 million market cap right now. It's got $560,000 of 24-hour trading volume, so there is obviously some interest in Reaper. And Reaper, well, what is Reaper? Reaper does nothing. I'd like to point out what it is, but basically Reaper does nothing. The idea behind this is all meme coins are a bunch of nonsense, and so you should buy Reaper because Reaper is a better meme coin than the rest of them. That is complete tosh, but I have bought $2,000 of it. And we'll see where that heads. Currently, the price, it's a 1 million market cap. We'll see what happens with it. I've got no idea. But yeah, you all asked me about meme coins. So that's my meme coin play for the day. I've got no idea what's going to come of it, and we shall see. But on that note, guys, do drop a like on today's video if you have enjoyed it. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, turn on channel notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.